and welcome to Let's Get Growing. It's Jo here, the Horticultural Manager from Bulwell Forest Garden in Nottingham. And here we are at the start of April, and it's a very busy time of year. As you can see, our pond's been the frogs have been very busy, and we've got loads of frog spawn starting to develop in the pond here. The marsh marigolds are starting to flower. We've been really busy planting potatoes, planting out spring onions, so it's a very busy time of year. So without further ado, let's get busy, let's get cracking, let's get growing. Okay, so for this week's packs, we've got a lupin, a red currant, and some lettuce seedlings. So I'm going to start with the lupin. It's in a little tiny pot, and the biggest thing with lupins is looking after them when they're this size, because everything under the sun likes to eat them. So slugs and snails and aphids. So I normally grow them in pots until they've got a bit bigger. So they probably not desperate for a repotting because they've only just been propagated. This is some that we've dug up that have self-seeded in the ground, but I am going to put it into a bigger pot because it will start growing really quickly once it gets going. So I've done it into the next size up pot. Okay, and then next we're going to look at the lettuce. So you should have 4 young lettuce plants here, and we have planted some in our polytunnel bed down here, but with these ones I'm just going to put them into a pot to grow them in this pot. I think they're salad bowl, the variety, so they're quite good as a cut and come again. Saves you having to keep replanting. So with these I'm going to handle them quite gently. I'm going to use a spoon to take them out. I'm going to make a hole. I'm going to put all 4 plants into this pot. That's 1. Try not to damage the roots or disturb them too much, and they'll transplant better. And then the last one. And then I'll water those with a fine rose, and I'll keep them out the sun for a little while because they're a little bit fragile at the moment, just until they perk up. But they will soon perk up because, like these ones in the ground here, just went out a few days ago and they've already started to perk up. And then finally is the red currant. So the red currant, these are cuttings that I took in the autumn. I can show you those when we go outside, but they've only got small root system, so I would suggest that you just leave them in this pot for now. Nowhere too hot, so outside's fine, they're fully hardy. Just make sure they're watered until you start to see some root activity down here, and then they'll be ready for either planting out or going in a bigger pot. So the last thing we're going to do is in our, I think it was January packs, we got 3 Charlotte potatoes, which I have patiently been chitting. So they've started to get these little shoots here that are growing. So they're ready now to plant. So I'm going to do these in a big pot. Whoa! So I've got a big pot and I've filled it with some of our very rough homemade compost, but I think this is going to be fine. And then what I'm going to do is shoot side up. I'm going to put all 3 in this pot, I think. I'll put 1 in there. They're not too fussy, so they shouldn't mind being in here. And then I think with the top of the pot, what I'll do is fill it up with some of this peat-free compost. I can keep topping it up as they grow, really, so, or I can fill the pot up now. It doesn't really matter, but I'll just put this in for now. I guess the deeper they are, if there's a frost, the better protected, a late frost, the better protected they are, because they'll be under the ground still. But so I'll probably fill that up a little bit more, just to about there, and then I'll put the label in, water it, and put it outside. Doesn't want to be too hot. So let's just go and have a little look outside. So these are the cuttings that I took in autumn. So we've got some red currants, some gooseberries and some black currants here, and they all pretty much look like they've taken. So this is where the stocks come from for your red currants. And it was dead easy, just cut them down, stuck them in the ground, and they do their thing. And look how many plants we're going to have, which is great. And they've just temporarily gone in this nursery bed, which is going to have potatoes in it by next week. So it's a time of change. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely Easter holidays, and we'll be back again in a few weeks. Okay, bye.